Hi, my name is Martin and this is Dad Gone Wild. This is a YouTube channel for every parent out there that is secretly dreaming about taking their family and live a more quiet life. I've done it with my family and I want to help you do the same thing. And a direct result of us choosing a mountain life instead of a city life is that we spend a lot of time outside. And today I want to help you do the same thing with your family. I want to give you 10 tips on how to get your kids to be more outside. And definitely not a tip on how to operate with snowshoes. That will be a later episode. And while we're outside, I want to show you this awesome place just a couple of 100 meters from our house. And so yeah, let's go. It's a frozen river and it's gonna be amazing. Stick around. Okay, so the first tip is actually just to start young. The earlier you get your kids out into nature, the better. Our oldest one had his first camping trip when he was about 4 weeks old, which involved zero sleep for mom and dad. But he, on the other hand, slept like a baby. No pun intended. Yeah, and you don't really need to go full overnight camping the first couple of times. You can just go outside into the forest or out playing in the grass, just so your kids get used to the natural surroundings and stuff. Moving on. In Norwegian, there's a saying that says "Det finnes ikke dårlig vær, bare dårlig klær," which directly translates in the lines of there's no such. That's what it says. No, it translates towards there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. And I could not agree more with that saying. And here's why. Because if you dress your kids according to the weather, they won't get wet or cold. They just stay warm and comfortable and they go on adventures and nothing will stop them. So dress your kid according to the weather, and that's probably one of the most important tips for today. We'll get back to that tip later on, so up with your notebook. But I still want to show you something. Let's go. So tip number 3 is join the fun, but don't control the fun. Because as we all know, your kids has the most amazing imagination. So if they ask you to join what they're doing, do just that. Don't try to make up rules and decide what's cool and what's not. Join their fun. Just be part of this magical adventure.
Besides,
if you let them share their imagination, magical things can happen. Like this. Not bad, huh? Sort of feel like a queen from the 1600s, like this, riding on a horse. You're not here for that. Let's go. So the next tip is go for local adventures. And the same tip applies here as it did with camping with kids, as you can check out here. You don't need to travel that far to go on an adventure. You can just go behind your house, or like this. This is a couple 100 meters from my house. I'm fortunate to have this insane river, but you'll have some awesome stuff as well. The most important thing is that your kids can decide where the adventure is. You don't need to decide. Because seriously, many outdoor adventures are ruined just from parents, and myself included, that feel like they need to go far just to be on a real adventure. So stay local and let your kids decide where the adventure is. Okay, I gotta get off this horse. Next tip is let your kid go for a treasure hunt. This tip includes that you put in a little bit of effort, bring a couple of toys, a piece of paper and maybe a pencil. But you get repaid in quiet time, which is precious for every parent out there, so this is a good one. Bring a couple of toys the next time you're out with your family. You can just place them around. When your kids are off doing something else, you draw up a little map, just like it. Actually, it's just dumb of me to explain the rules. We all been treasure hunting. Make a map, place them out and have them run around. It's simple, but it works incredibly well. So, kids get dirty, just deal with it. So a huge part of kids being outside is the fact that they're gonna get dirty. They're gonna climb in trees, they're gonna step in mud, they're gonna fall in water, they're gonna climb rocks, and yeah, the clothes are gonna get really, really filthy. But here's the deal. If you did as I suggested in tip number 2,
dress your kid according to the weather,
this won't be a problem. Because quality clothes are easy to clean, it's usually easy to wash off everything, and it's more durable, and it will last for a longer period of time, no matter how dirty it is. And yeah, buying quality clothing will save you and the planet from buying new unnecessary shit every time your kid comes home from an epic adventure. So make sure to invest in some quality outdoor clothing for your kids. Okay, so learning by doing goes both ways. Try to match your kids' curiosity when you're out exploring the outdoors. Not only will it create a great bond between you and your kids, if you're lucky, you might even learn something. Dad from the future here. Apparently my camera didn't record 2 of the tips, so here they are. Let your kids go out and explore on their own. So if you're in the forest and you know it's safe, let your kids go on an adventure and let them bring some snacks and some drinks, and my bet is that they only walk a couple of 100 meters and that they come back very happy and independent. This tip is very important for your future out in the outdoors, and that is to go back home before all hell breaks loose. At least our experience is that if you keep your kids outside after they run out of energy and food, they will start complain, cry, and even yell, and the whole experience will just be bad. So remember to head back home before it's too late, so that the time they spent outside was a pleasant experience and that they really want to do it again sometime soon. Back to past Dad. Nothing is really Instagram perfect, especially not in nature, and well, right now it's incredibly beautiful, but usually it's cloudy and the weather is not that great. So try to find joy in being outside, no matter the weather. Even if it's raining or windy or if it's foggy, you can adjust the activities according to the weather, so you don't have to go on the longest hike if it's crap weather. You can just go for a little walk. And if you really want to do something cool, try taking your kids outside during a really heavy storm. Yeah, I think I need a disclaimer here about this being on your own risk, and that by storm I don't mean a tropical hurricane, I just mean something a bit heavier than the ones that your kids are used to. Because if they go outside during like a heavy rainstorm with decent clothing, which we've already talked about,
Dress your kid according to the weather.
they will get so much in return. First of all, they will experience that bad weather isn't necessarily that bad, and second of all, and probably most important, I believe that your kids will get really proud after being outside in the storm with their parents. So yeah, take your kids outside. So that's my tips for today. I hope you learned something new. If you have more tips or even greater tips, make sure to post them in the comments below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, maybe even hit the subscribe button. It will help me up a bunch. I'll see you next time. This is Dad checking out. Peace!